The energy of the soap opera of the stars for the month of October is that of acting on new beginnings. I'm an intuitive coach, and this is my energy report for the month of October. I do the research on the astrology as well as the human design, and then my guides channel to me these intuitive messages. My guides are called Samsara, and I am very excited to bring the messages that they have for us to you. Now, the reason why I look at the astrology as well as the human design is because in my own research on my life, in sharing this with my friends and clients, I realize that when we only look at the astrology that is unfolding, sometimes we miss the nuance of the story. And therefore, this report goes into further detail on not just what is happening between the planets, but also what gates or channels they are passing through, what chakras are being amplified for us, and what are the possible dialogues that are happening in the energy. And then, of course, my guides help me decode it further by providing the download that they provide. So I hope this report is interesting to you, and I would love to know what you think of it. If you comment below, do also subscribe to this channel, share this video with friends if you think it is useful to you, and if you're listening, then do like it, because all of this helps. We are in a material world, and we need to do the things that bring us material success. So therefore, my plea, if you like this content, do help me grow this channel. Now, let's get into the energy of the of the month. October seems to be a month where you are being handheld through the process of change, evolution, and the setting up of the new beginnings that you were promised by the end of September. This is something that I think as human beings we do not account for. Change is a constant in our life. Change is evolution. However, we do not account for the stress that change brings into the system, whether that change is positive or negative. The fact that we are moving into a different environment, we are moving into a different approach of doing things, all of that creates stress. Why? Because we like certainty. Our brain likes certainty. Our brain is scanning the environment constantly to see what is possibly a threat. And when it sees something that it is familiar with, it knows, yes, I'm safe. When it sees something dangerous, of course, it tells you that you're not safe. But even things that are neutral sometimes, it doesn't know where to categorize and therefore says, this is a problem. So we are wired to feel a little concerned when something is not certain for us. And therefore, it is very important to factor into our lives the fact that change is happening, and therefore to think ahead and in advance, what are the things I need to do proactively so that this change is a little easier. And it feels like in the month of October, the guides are saying that we are being taken through that process week on week so that change is easier and we can just follow the energy. It's like this sort of template provided to us. So let's get into what each week brings to us this month. So the first week of October involves balancing out the lessons from the past with the excitement you need to move into the future. It involves embracing the need to change and ensuring that it is a process of joy and playfulness despite the inherent uncertainty it brings. So let's look at that, because what does it mean to balance out the lessons of the past with the excitement we need to move into the future? Now, obviously, we're not going to take any sort of action for our future, for a forward-moving path, if it doesn't excite us, right? And in order for it to excite us, it needs to be something that lights us up inside. Also, it needs to be something that we are able to tackle the fear of. So if uncertainty is going to bring up some fear, some stress, some anxiety, we need to have the resources to be able to manage that. Only then will we move forward. Otherwise, fear can paralyze us. Now, the lessons of the past are what tell us that we are capable of dealing with this, right? But we can't stay too caught up in the lessons of the past. We need to learn and move on, because otherwise the lessons of the past can have us mired in regret, sadness, guilt, pain, shame, embarrassment, all kinds of things, anger, right? Grief. So those emotions can paralyze us as well. Therefore, in the first week of October, we need to balance all that we've learned, all that we've been through, and take from it the lessons that tell us, yes, you can move forward, yes, you can look fear in the eye and still move forward. So that's what the first week of October is bringing up, that ability to balance the past and the future, and to develop that skill to say, okay, I'm ready to move on. Now, the second week of October asks you to take initiative, so you have to act. It talks about letting go of old dreams that have not yet manifested and using the energy of this week to revise and set new dreams that are more likely to come to fruition given the shifts in energy at the moment. So let's take an example. Let's say that when you were younger, your dream was to own a particular model of a car, all right? And you wanted to own it at a specific time. Now, let's say that you are now 20 years older. The model no longer exists. I mean, it isn't really something that is being produced. It isn't something relevant. Now, you cannot hold on to that dream of owning that car because it's no longer relevant to you. But you can still want to own a car that gives you the same feeling owning that car would have. And for that, you need to revise your dreams. So the second week of October is saying to us, take action, all right? Take action on how you want to step into the future, but at the same time, remember, we're still balancing the past. And in this case, we're balancing all of those things that we've wanted, but haven't appeared yet. And we're saying, all right, well, those aren't really relevant to me anymore because I'm at this stage in life. And now let me look at all the dreams that are relevant to me. So if there's anything that you're holding on from the past as a dream not yet manifested, maybe you need to look at that dream and say, hey, do I really even want it anymore? So that's what it seems the second week of October is saying to us, that don't just look at, the emotions you need or the excitement you need to move forward onto this path of uncertainty. Also look at, what is this path all about? What is that action that you need to take to make this path more relevant to the person you are today? Because won't that make you feel better about the path? Won't that excite you about the path? And for that, you need to let go of some of the dreams that you had, but are not what are exciting you anymore. So do that little decluttering sort of housekeeping in this second week of October. Okay, so now the third week of October talks about how you need closure from past events to step into these new dreams, and it addresses the areas of closure and how to receive it in your life so that you feel energized and empowered to move forward on a new path. So this is building up on the energies that we have been looking at, because when you let go of some of the dreams that you've had that are not manifested, you will also be letting go of this feeling that I have failed. And that is why those dreams have not come to fruition. And that is why the third week of October is bringing that closure. So really look at this as a step-by-step journey into the change you want to claim for your life, and look at each week as a chapter that needs to be read, understood, and then implemented in your life so that you are capable of stepping into that change that you are asking the universe for. So the third week of October, you are going to be looking at what needs closure, and that closure is going to be found by you within you. That's how the planets have. That's how the planets are communicating. Those are the gates being activated for you to find closure within yourself. So look at that. The fourth week of October is about becoming magnetic. So you have moved from the past, and now you have that energy within you to become a magnet for all that you wish to bring into this world. So the guides talk about how brand and marketing will be defined in a system that is trust based. The guides also break down the steps you need to become that magnetic leader. So, very exciting. I wish we could jump into the fourth week already. And that's another thing that I would like you to know is that sometimes, not sometimes, I genuinely feel that as I'm working with the transits more proactively, I am experiencing energy in advance of it happening, in a sort of, it's like advanced maths or something of that sort, where, I'm understanding the energy before that week actually happens. And that may be happening with you as well. So it may be that you are already experiencing this magnetism within you. You are already looking at shifting your routines, changing the way you think about things in order to become that magnetic leader. But in the fourth week, we will get a proper lesson from the guides on what it means to become that magnetic leader, what it means to magnetize what we would like to contribute to the world, into the world, and how, in a trust-based system, how would brand and marketing work? Now, the fifth week of October is all about support and the three areas that will support you in making your dreams a reality. So, we're going to look at resources in the last week of October. So, I don't know whether it is because of my project management brain or the guides themselves are project managers, but I really feel that the guides approach our lives as a project that we need to take care of. So, in the first week, we're being told, look, build your reserves, look at all that you have done and therefore are capable of achieving. Second, take initiative, take action, and in that, let go whatever it is that hasn't come to fruition. Look at what you really want right now. In the third week, it's like, okay, now really close that chapter. Find the closure within you. You don't need to wait for anybody else to give it to you. The fourth week, we're all about, okay, now, what does it mean to be that person who can make these dreams come true? What do I need? How do I magnetize things into reality? And then the fifth week is all about resources. Here they are. This is the support you need. This is the support you can get based on the rising sun or moon sign that you have. And the guides are there to help us navigate those areas, understand them better. So, it's a month that promises a lot of forward movement, in my opinion. I am really looking forward to October like I haven't looked forward to any month so far. Maybe May, but really October seems to be a month that is really taking us into a different cycle, so to speak. So, let us look at what this means for each sign. Now, for this, you need to look at your astrological chart or connect with me, and I'll let you know your top 3 signs, which is your rising sun and moon. Of course, sun you would know, it's based on your date of birth. I use whole sign houses, Western astrology, for this breakdown. Please take what resonates, because I know different people follow different ways of looking at astrology. Now, if you're looking at your rising sign, this is about you, your body, your mind, your soul. And the question you need to ask is, what is going on in my life? And that is how you can read or understand this breakdown by sign. If what you know is your sun sign, that's fine. It will give you an indication of what's happening in your career and any themes related to father figures, masculine authority. So the question to ask is, what is influencing my career and significant masculine relationships? It could be the masculine within you as well, that relationship as well. Your moon sign is your emotional space, your mother figures. The question to ask is, what is influencing my emotions and my significant feminine relationships? So the best is to look at all three signs to get a complete view of what is happening, or of course you can just look at your rising sign, which will provide you with the main themes. Now, when I do the signs for the month, this is sort of a given, because the week on week is where we're going to work proactively. The month is more like a compass where you're saying, okay, this is the direction the overall month is going to go into. So when I speak about specific areas of your chart that you need to look at, these are just areas you need to, maybe write down in your journal, saying that, okay, these are areas that I need to observe throughout the month of October, and I will know week on week how these areas are being affected by the energy that is playing out in the skies. Okay, so now for Aries, rising sun or moon, you will experience a power boost, like an energetic power boost in areas related to your spiritual beliefs, your need to grow, expand, travel through the world, higher education, things like that. So expect to experience a sort of energetic push to in these areas of life. And you will also find yourself, and this is probably where you will get closure, you will find yourself looking at emotions around family, roots, ancestral karma, mothers, maternal figures, and how these impact your career and status. This is an area which you've been working through since 2008. But you may find that you get more closure in this particular month around these areas. All of these areas are interrelated. So you can look at how the closure in this aspect of your life, when it comes to family stuff, when it comes to how family stuff has affected your career and status, it may be that the closure you get in these areas will help you get that boost in terms of, okay, now this is the spiritual belief, this is the belief I want to take on in terms of how I want to expand. Now this sets me free to dream in the area of my spiritual beliefs and the expansion that I want in my life. Okay, in terms of relationships, your focus will be on relationships that are marriage or like marriage, so close partnerships, close associations, any relationships that require some sort of negotiation. So this will also have you looking at your needs versus the other needs, how you balance this. And your relationships will also have you looking at what are your partnerships, how do you function in your partnerships, where do you have shared resources, how you feel about that, any debts, karmic connections. So there are going to be certain endings or beginnings in these areas of relationships as well that will play out over the month of October. So see how this works out for you, and definitely let me know. Okay, so for Taurus, rising sun and moon, the energetic power boost that you are going to get, that feeling of, oh my goodness, this is what I want to do, this is what lights me up, this is the way my future, this is the direction I want to take. This may be in the areas of your partnerships, your shared resources, any big business or karmic completions. And you will basically have an insight into how you want to take this forward for the rest of your life. So now what is the closures that are going to help you get this boost in this area are going to be around, how you have looked at your immediate living environment, what have been your thought processes, what has been your communication style, how have you allowed yourself to express yourself, perhaps even your relationships with siblings, and how all of this has impacted your spiritual beliefs, your desire to expand and grow. So, you will be looking at what chapters need to close, what dreams are no longer valid for you in these areas. And again, this is an area that has been in the limelight, whether you are rising sun or moon, since 2008, slowly and steadily chipping away, slowly and steadily changing the way you approach these themes. And this is a month where you are able to close that, and you will experience this sort of shot of energy in the area of that we discussed: partnerships, big business, repaying karmic debts, etc., because that is what is then going to take you forward. Now, when it comes to your relationships, you will be looking at the relationships, and this could be with people or with yourself, in terms of health, your daily routines, your work tasks, people that you've employed, and you may also be looking at your marriage or relationships, partnerships that are similar to marriage, other close associations, negotiations, the balancing of your needs versus others. So in relationships, your emotions are going to be caught up in these areas for the month of October. So you're going to see all of these three things unfold over the month of October, and they are what will help you, bring in. So basically, these areas need to be seen as the areas where some sort of cleaning up has to happen in order for you to move on to that new path of change that you have been asking for. So just look at what is it that you are dreaming about, and how these three areas of your life have been playing, especially the one since 2008, to bring you to where you are now, not just in terms of the fact that you want these dreams, but also that you are capable to do what needs to be done for you to become magnetic about your dreams. Okay, so for Gemini, rising sun and moon, you will experience that energetic power boost in the area related to your close associations, marriage, the balancing of your needs versus the other. You will find yourself, that is where you will find that you need to look at what are your dreams for the future, how do you want to expand, what does it mean to you, are there dreams you need to let go of, are there dreams you need to set up. So you will get that sort of push in this area. You will find yourself looking at your emotions around your finances, your self-worth and values. This is an area that has been worked on since 2008. And all of this, how it impacts partnerships, karmic connections, karmic debts, big business, shared resources. So this is the area where you can expect to have closure, where you can expect to be looking at what it is that you have learned, but also letting go of the past in these areas. When it comes to relationships this month, the relationships that you will be focused on are perhaps around romance. Well, it could be romance for life, not just romance in terms of a partner, but it could also, you may also find some romantic sparks this month. Also relationships around creativity, play, children, as well as relationships, and this could be a relationship with yourself in areas of health, routines, work tasks, and duties. So those are the three areas that you can expect to unfold over the month of October. Now for Cancer, rising sun and moon, you will experience that energetic power boost, that feeling of I can do this, in the areas related to your health, daily routines, duties, and work tasks. So if there is a habit that you want to kick, if there is a habit you want to put in place, this is the month for you to figure that out, because you are going to get the help you need to make it happen. And you will find yourself looking at your emotions around your personality, appearance, your sense of self. This is something that has been worked on since 2008, and how this impacts your close associations or your marriage, the balancing of your needs versus the others, right? And the closure you find around this, the ability to let go of the past that you find around this, the lessons you have learned around this are what are going to help you with that energetic boost to change, whether it is stuff around your health, whether it is stuff around your routines and daily work tasks, the way you look at your duties. It's going to help you change that whole aspect. And I hope you see because if you are able to balance your needs versus the others, if there are duties that you are doing because you have been told you need to do it, you may be able to relook at that and say, hey, I really don't need to enable this other person this way. I need to choose me, and that person will find the support that they need. So that's how all of this gets interconnected. So you need to look at how these things connect with each other. Now, when it comes to relationships, your focus will be around your family, roots, mother, maternal figures, you as a mother as well, ancestral karma. So ancestral karma may come up in relationships, but your relationships may also involve some level of romance, creativity, play, or children. So these are the areas where relationships are going to be important in this month of October. You will see it all unfold. For Leo rising sun and moon, you will experience energetic power boosts in the areas related to romantic partnerships or romance that you find within your life, creativity, play, and children. If you have an idea you've been wanting to, which is creative, which involves your self-expression, which involves you being you, this is a month that will help you with that energetic boost to get it started, to get it going. And you will feel a certain level of playfulness around it. It will be fun, and that is what will provide even more energy to you for you to be able to make this happen. In order to be able to get that energetic boost, you will have to look at closing chapters, letting dreams go, really letting go the past, around your emotions, around subconscious beliefs, fears, insecurities, patterns of self-sabotage, sleep, and how all of that has impacted your health routines, work tasks, and duties. So perhaps you have had an issue with your health, because of which you feel you do not have the energy to do the things that light you up. So this is one way in which this could unfold. And perhaps you need to look at the fact that despite all odds, you are where you are. You have dealt with it. You understand yourself better. And now you can let go of, that belief which is causing self-sabotage, and instead claim your voice. Go forward, do what it is that lights you up. So maybe that's one of the ways in which this will unfold. Your focus in terms of relationships will be relationships in your immediate living environment, your communication style in those relationships, perhaps siblings, as well as relationships in your family, roots, mothers, you as a mother, maternal figures, and ancestral karma in relationships. So those are the relationship themes coming up this month. For Virgo rising sun and moon, you will experience energetic power boosts in the areas related to family, roots, mother, you as a mother, maternal figures, and ancestral karma. So clearly, this is an area where you will find that maybe you decide to buy property. Maybe you decide to, I'm not sure about property here, but maybe you decide that, okay, this is where I am going to put down roots. I've decided this is where I belong. Or maybe there's a certain change you want to make in your family structure. Maybe there is something that maybe there's something that you need to let go of in terms of ancestral karma, and you will get that energetic boost to have that conversation or to do that energetic work, or basically whatever you need to do to release it. You will find yourself, so what will help you is looking at the emotions around your networks, social circles, the way your world sees your contribution, and how this impacts your creativity, play, romance, children, also your inner child. This is an area that has been, in focus since 2008, and therefore whatever has been the churn around your networks, your social circles, the way you want your work to be seen in the world, and whether or not that has allowed you to be creative, playful, fun, have romance in life, all of those themes are going to come up in terms of the emotions you feel around that. And when you're able to settle into the new dreams here, you will also be able to understand how to deal with that power boost that is coming up for you to, let go of certain things in terms of family, ancestral karma, or maybe just find roots and, settle down. So, you need to see how this unfolds for you over October. Now, for you, relationships will be focused around finances, your self-worth, your values, as well as when we are talking about relationships with an abstract, right, such as self-worth and values, we are talking about your relationship within you, but it could also be relationships that impact this thought process around you. So if you are a person who does not feel confident earning your own money, then perhaps you need to look at why is that, what made you feel that what are the relationships that make you feel you cannot generate funds for yourself? Or you may feel that yes, you generate funds for yourself, but you can't spend it on yourself unless you also spend it on XYZ. So again, that is something that you need to look at. Why is it that you feel you cannot spend it on yourself? So those are the relationships that we're talking about in this space. The other relationships that may come up are in your immediate living environment, your communication style in relationships, relationships with siblings, and your thought processes. So for Libra rising, sun and moon, and this is personal to me because I am a Libra rising, you will experience energetic power boosts in the areas related to your immediate living environment, your siblings, thought processes, your communication style, and self-expression. So the way I look at this is that, for me as a Libra rising, perhaps I am going to get a moment of clarity or an insight, or just this desire to perhaps be more myself in the way I express myself in these videos or in the other content that I put up on the internet. Perhaps, on the other hand, I may get an opportunity where I say, hey, this is not where I want to live anymore, and that is where I want to live. And, I may just get that moment of clarity or insight in this month. I may be connecting with my sibling, or I may just experience a shift in the way I think about certain things that will make me more magnetic, more capable of manifestation, things like that. So that's the way I would look at this for myself. And of course, I need to look at, it makes sense to me because I have been thinking about how to change my communication style, but I have to see how this unfolds in terms of that energetic boost. Okay, and for a Libra rising, you will find yourself looking at your emotions around your career and status and how that impacts family, roots, ancestral karma, mothers, your being a mother, and maternal figures. Now, for me, this is very relevant because I have chosen this path of being an intuitive coach. This is not, I've done my MBA from IIM Indore. For the longest time, I followed a certain corporate career. And this is not a traditional path. Even though there is a lot more acceptance for the intuitive ability, for me to be working with my intuitive ability, this is not necessarily the most accepted way of doing things. And because I follow my intuition, because I follow my intuitive hits, I may have made choices in the past which are against the current when it comes to societal structures around family, things like that. So this is an area of a Libra rising's chart which has been worked on since 2008. So if you look at your career, your status, your family, your roots, ancestral karma, all of this has changed significantly since 2008, and this is where you need to sort of tie up whatever's open, let go of dreams around this area, because that is what will help that magnetism, those energetic boosts in areas of self-expression, living environment, so on and so forth. The focus on relationships for a Libra rising will be around their own personality, sense of self, appearance, and the balance of your own needs versus the other, something that a Libra always has a problem with, as well as relationships around your finances, self-worth, and values. So now if you look at it from the perspective of, if I have to look at how I express myself, how I communicate, where I can find myself being more magnetic there, you can see how letting go of the need for approval in family, career, status can help with that self-expression. Also, where, looking at my relationship with myself, looking at my relationship with my self-worth will also help me in achieving that magnetic boost. So I hope this helps you make sense of how these different energies are actually helping you with becoming more of who you want to become, rather who you are here on this planet to become, because that's really what the energy right now is all about. It's about individuation, it's about expressing yourself, it's about being unique, it's about getting out of control-based structures which made you feel that you need to, which basically said my way or the highway, and that wasn't necessarily your way, into more trust-based systems which allow you to be yourself and yet a part of the whole. Okay, so Scorpio rising sun and moon, you will experience energetic power boosts in the areas related to your finances, self-worth, and values. So expect money, expect opportunity to earn money, and also, even if it's not about your own finances, it's about your self-worth and values, which all leads to more money, in my opinion. Now, in order to do this, you have to look at your emotions around your spiritual beliefs, your need to expand and grow, and how that impacts your immediate living environment, your communication style, your thought processes, and your siblings. So it's possible that you need to look at, perhaps you've had dreams to expand in a certain way which haven't come to fruition, and perhaps you see that every day in your living environment because you want your living environment to be different. And perhaps those are the dreams you need to let go of, because just because those dreams haven't come to fruition doesn't mean that you failed. But perhaps you need to let all of that go to see how much you've learned. And now, what is it that you can do to feel worthy and to chase the dreams, not chase really, but magnetize the dreams that you now have around your finances, things like that. So maybe that's how this will play out for a Scorpio rising. And in terms of relationships, this will be, you will need to look at your relationships with yourself, obviously, in terms of subconscious beliefs, fears, insecurities, patterns of self-sabotage, or what are the relationships in your life that are creating these. So if a Scorpio rising, if you want to let go of alcohol, let's say, maybe you feel that you drink too much, well, you're going to have to let go of friends who urge you to drink that much. I know this is a very simplistic example, forgive me. This is not a judgment on anyone, or whether you drink or you don't drink, not at all. It is just an example to say that, look, let's say you feel you have an addiction to crochet and you spend too much time on crochet, then you will have to let go of those circles of friends where all they talk about is crochet, that sort of a thing. So that is one area where you need to relook at your relationships, either with yourself or with others, the patterns of fears, insecurities, self-sabotage. The other area in which you may be looking at relationships is the balancing of your needs versus the others, also your sense of self, and your appearance. So, a Scorpio may go in for a makeover. Scorpio rising may go in for a makeover this month. Okay, so these examples that I give, they're really just scratching the surface. And it's very important that you look at how this energy is playing out in your life, because this doesn't address, for a Scorpio rising, for example, this doesn't address what planets are in Scorpio. It only addresses the impact of the transits. So this will play out differently for each person. Please connect with me if you want a more customized analysis. But this is just a general look at the month of October and some of the themes that may be playing out, so that you are aware. Forewarned is forearmed, that sort of an approach. Okay, so Sagittarius rising sun and moon. You will experience an energetic power boost in the area related to your personality, sense of self, your appearance, and the balance between your needs and those of others. So, it's more likely that a Sagittarius rising goes and gets a makeover. Yes, so this is where you will be looking at what is your sense of self. Who are you as a person? Who do you want to be? And therefore, how must your appearance change in order to match that? And in this definition of yourself, what happens in terms of the needs of others versus your own? So this is where you are going to feel a certain magnetism. This is where you need to look at what are the new dreams that you have for yourself. You will find yourself looking at emotions around your partnerships, shared resources, karmic connections, and how that has had an impact on you in terms of your personal finances, self-worth, and values. And this is something which Sagittarians, you have been dealing with since 2008. So what has the story been? What has the transformation been in this area of your life? Your focus on relationships will be around your networks, your social circles, and the way you contribute, how your contribution is seen by the world. So this is one aspect of relationships that will come into focus. The other aspect of relationships will be around your subconscious beliefs, fears, insecurities, patterns of self-sabotage. So similar to Scorpio, here this is either people in your life that have led you down this path, or your own inner psyche, your inner child that you need to look at and you need to have a conversation with. So Capricorn rising sun and moon, you will experience that energetic power boost in the areas related to your subconscious beliefs, fears, insecurities, and patterns of self-sabotage. So this is where you will be able to let go of patterns that are not serving you and move forward. You will find yourself looking at, something that I just got as an intuitive hit for Capricorns. In case you have difficult sleep cycles, October is a month where you should look at what you can do. Maybe you need to go get a sleep test or a sleep study. Maybe you need to understand your circadian cycles and rhythms better. October is a month where you will be able to shift your relationship with rest, sleep, and that is going to have a distinct impact on the way you become a magnetic person. So that's just an intuitive hit I got. So now for this boost, you will also have to look at your emotions around your relationships, close associations, your marriage, and that impact on your personality, sense of self, the way you balance your needs with the others, the other needs with yours. So, perhaps this tug of war between yourself and your close relationships are keeping you up at night, and maybe you need to let go of the emotions around all of this, and that will help you manage your sleep. I know this is very simplistic, but this is just an example based on the energy that I am feeling from this report. Of course, it will be so different for each Capricorn rising sun or moon, and you need to look at how this unfolds for you. But you need to let go of these, these emotions or the dreams that haven't been fulfilled in your relationships with others, your relationship with yourself, the balancing of your needs versus the others versus yours. And that is going to help you deal with what are these subconscious fears, insecurities, self-sabotage patterns that you have. For you, your focus in relationships needs to be around your career status. Also, your relationships in your networks, your social circles, and the way your contribution is seen in the world. So Aquarius rising sun and moon, you will experience energetic power boosts in the areas related to your network, social circles, and the way you contribute. You will find yourself looking, so in order to get that energetic power boost, you will have to look at your emotions around health, routines, duties. Also, and this is something that has been happening, so your health, routines, duties have been something you've been stressing about or just undergoing change in, or finding yourself doing different things since 2008. And this has also impacted your sleep patterns of self-sabotage, fears, and insecurities. So emotions around this need to be let go of. Certain dreams you had around this need to be let go of for you to get that boost, for you to go out there in your network, social circles, and the way you contribute in the world. Okay? And your relationships that will be highlighted this month will be around your spiritual beliefs, your need to expand, foreign travel, higher education, things like that, as well as relationships in your career and around your status. So for Pisces rising sun and moon, you will experience that energetic power boost in the areas related to your career and status. Woohoo! You will find yourself looking at your emotions. So the way you get that boost is if you can look at your emotions around creativity, play, romance, and how this impacts your network, social circles, and your contribution. So, again, I do not like to make this so simplistic, but for example, let's say that since 2008, these subjects have been coming up. Now, let's say you are a Pisces rising and you have been really focused on, the romance in your life, the play, the creativity, and this is the darker side of it, right? Because, but let's say you've really been focused on all of that. You've been focused on, having a good time, your social circles, etc. And let's say you haven't got to where you wanted to in terms of your career. Now, are you going to regret the fact that you spent so much time, energy on all of this versus your career? Or are you going to say, okay, I'm going to take whatever I've learned. Maybe I am, the party person, and maybe I'm going to turn that into a career and status, into a career that really lights me up and that brings me the status I want, because then I can magnetize those networks and social circles and all of the play effortlessly. So, Pisces, this is possibly where October is going to take you. And your relationships, you will be looking at relationships around your partnerships, debts, shared resources, karmic debts included, as well as your spiritual beliefs and your need to expand. And for me, this comes together in a beautiful, cohesive whole, because let's say you are this quintessential party person and you have spent money, resources, time, energy on that side of your life, having a good time, etc. And now you have a wake-up call and you say that, look, I want to be more than this. And you don't have to be, please. Again, this is not a judgment on being a party person. But let's say you have this awakening that says, okay, I need to balance this out a little bit. I have spent a lot of money here. And how about I look at the skills I have developed in all of this fun that I've had, make that into my career, become that magnet, and expand through applying those skills. So you see how these three energies sort of play into each other in order for you to expand and grow in this month. So I hope this has been helpful. Please do let me know in the comments or connecting with me. You can write to me on asoneis.pn@gmail.com, ASONEIS .pn @gmail.com. This is also on Spotify in case you like to listen and not watch. I also have the write up on Medium. It doesn't include all of the extra bits that I have added to this report, but a very simple write up is available on Medium. I also have a very short 90-second version of this on Instagram. On Instagram, I post every day. I post the energy of the day. I do a card reading for the energy of the day. So, all of this together helps you proactively work with the energy that is available in order to choose the highest path. The reason I say this is because I believe that we all have a single entry point into this lifetime. For whatever reason, through the timeline of lifetimes, based on what we want to learn, based on what we need to contribute to this world, we have a certain entry point, and that is set up, right? You cannot control that. You cannot choose that. You are born to those parents. You're born into those opportunities, families, networks, etc., etc. And then for a large part of our life, we don't have conscious choice because we're observing, we're learning, we're being impacted more than we can impact. But then at some point in time, we're able to make choices. We're able to shift the way we want to see what is happening with us. We can shift our perspective to be more growth oriented, to be more solution oriented. And neuroscience tells us that when our brain is wired to be more growth and solution oriented, we find more opportunities. And therefore, wherever we are at, we have multiple options, infinite options on how we want to leave this planet, because we have that choice to apply the lens of that solution orientedness or the growth mindset, or of course we can continue to apply the lens of saying that, look, I have no control, I have no choice, I have no power in any of these situations. And perhaps that is true, but as you keep working on it, perhaps we can shift into this growth solution oriented mindset, and that changes the trajectory. And I feel that all of this energy available to us, the guides, the planets, the human design gates that are activated, can be used for us to find that path. And it's not easy. It doesn't mean life doesn't throw curveballs at you. It just means that you manage it better every single time that it happens. And that to me is what life is all about. Doesn't stop me from complaining when I have a hard day, but also helps me get back into, the scheme of things, let's say. So I will be back next week. In fact, you will have already received the October week 1 report. I will be back soon with the October week 2 report. Do let me know how this resonates with you. Do follow me for other content. And if this intrigues you, if this interests you, please connect with me for an energetic session. Those energy sessions are very different. I see people as these shaggy polar bears with, these filaments of light coming out of them. Sometimes I see beings around them. I see their ancestral karma that we need to clear. I see karma from past lives we need to clear. Not karma maybe, but just karma is a big word. So I'd like to say I see patterns that have been set up in past lifetimes or through the ancestral lineage, which we can clear, which provides some sort of relief and ease, or helps resolve issues, or helps improve relationships. Also, various, incidents that have created an emotional sort of I want to stay away from the word trauma, but that's what's coming to me, a sort of emotional, let's say, entanglement in this lifetime. So I help clear that as well. And I also help you connect with what are your goals, what are your dreams, what is that energetic embodiment, what is that energetic blueprint that you need to embody today in order to get to the goals that you are looking at manifesting in this lifetime. And the other thing that you can also get from me is I create these reports. So I have a report which basically tells you your purpose in this lifetime, how that fits into the timeline of lifetimes, and how between 0 to 90 years of age, how over the years this purpose sort of unfolds. What is the energy helping this purpose unfold? And a similar add-on can be created for your love life or relationships, for your career, for finances, physical health, spiritual life, whatever area of life you want to deep dive into. So if any of this resonates, or you would like just an astrological human design reading, or just a simple card reading, please get in touch with me. I would love to work with you. Thank you.